And we are also celebrating Black History Month.
Yeah, there's a new walking tour in Portland that highlights some little-known chapters of that history here in our state. Hannah Yeshivi took the tour, joins us now live from Portland with a closer look. Good morning, Hannah.
Hi, good morning, Lee and Sharon. Just last year, Dugan Murphy started a new walking tour company that includes a Black History one. The 2-hour tour focuses on some of the most important sites here in Portland, including this Freedom Trail landmark.
By 1783, when slavery came to an end here, there was a small population of people who were enslaved here.
Here at First Parish Church on Congress Street.
The reason we're starting the tour here is because this is part of the legacy of slavery here in Portland, Maine. Now, slavery only came to an end because of this woman here. This is a person who, when she was enslaved, she had the name Bet, or Mum Bet, because she raised children.
Slavery may have ended in Maine decades sooner than other states, but it was here, and Dugan Murphy's tour shines a light on it.
All right, folks, let's start crossing the street. Follow me. So let's hang out around this statue here.
Statues which mark the history of Black-founded communities.
Like Fryeburg, Maine. The first year-round residents there were a group of cattle drivers. One of them was a Black man who was enslaved there named Limbo.
And then there was Matthew DaCosta, who, according to history, was the first Black person to set foot in Maine.
We're talking about a group of people who have always been a small minority, and yet we're also talking about a history that is older than English colonization. So what questions do you have from the last 419 years?
With humor and pace, Murphy highlights the real stories and the people who helped build Portland. Names not mentioned in school books, names like Reuben Ruby.
The most effective Black political figure in 19th century Maine. Let's cross.
With his red Converse sneakers leading the way, Murphy can't help using a sports metaphor as the group crosses.
This is the most detailed play-by-play story we have about the Underground Railroad in Portland.
And they approach a building that was key in the effort in Maine to help escaped slaves from the South find freedom in the North, the Underground Railroad.
If I only had one spot to bring you on this tour, it would be here, so you can see the Abyssinian Meeting House.
Maine's oldest Black church, which also served as a segregated public school in the 19th century.
In 1991, the building had been vacant for a number of years. The owner had not been paying taxes to the city of Portland, so the city of Portland took ownership.
Now it's in the process of being restored.
All right, let's take a peek around the corner.
Around to that corner, the tour comes to an end at Eastern Cemetery.
If you were Black and Catholic, traditionally in the 19th century, you would have been buried in the Black section of the Catholic section. And there's that double segregation going on.
Segregation that Murphy says is generally overlooked.
And that there is a long sustained history. So you have people, Dugan talked about people like Reuben Ruby, going to Jared Talbot, going to Rachel Talbot Ross. There's a long lineage and history of people working for racial justice and equity in the state of Maine.
And what I find is that if you're willing to go beyond the stories of the people who had a lot of money, the people who are commemorated on plaques and in statues, you often find a much more interesting story.
Dugan is taking a little vacation right now, but his new Black History Tour will start again on April 1st. If you would like to learn more about this new tour or his new company, you can head to our new Center Maine website or mobile app. Lee and Sharon.
So interesting, Hannah. Thank you for that. I'm definitely putting it on the list. And one thing that I was happy to see, at least for the tour that you tagged along on, it was mostly white people taking the tour. It's so important that, you know, everyone learn about this.
Very interesting, and a lot of great facts that you'll learn that you literally didn't even know that were part of our city.
Excellent. Thank you, Hannah, for bringing that to our attention.